Alright, so I picked up this 2012 F-150 the other day, and obviously it's trashed and wrecked, and this is what I think happened. Whoever wrecked it basically wasn't buckled up, because the seatbelt was buckled in, and I think it's blown, and that's the only thing that's blown as far as the SRS system. And yeah, so whoever was driving was not buckled up, and when they wrecked, the forehead went through the windshield right here, which is nice, and the steering wheel got bent. Oh, it's loose too. It got bent probably with his chest. So this is a 2012 with 140,000 miles, FX4, obviously 4x4. It does have heated and cooled seats, doesn't have the navigation screen, because I never use one. I don't really care for it. I just wanted leather seats and heated seats. That's all I care about. And also, it is a 5.0 V8. This truck does not run or drive, and I'll show you why. This was purchased from Insurance Auto Auction, and this is the key that came with it. So that's probably why it doesn't run. This is the right key, but obviously the chip is missing. Looks like the guy that wrecked it probably got mad, probably bit the key or something, and also looks like he might have punched the buttons in, which is whatever. Also was a smoker, a heavy smoker. But let's take a look on the outside of the truck. I do like the color. I think this is gray. Does have 18-inch wheels, and if you look on this side, took a pretty good hit right into the wheel. It doesn't look too bad. The fender got basically ripped off from the apron, so all of this stayed in place. The frame is good. It missed the frame. The hit was right here, right into the wheel. And the door is good, I believe. It just needs to be blended on with the paint. And there's a scratch here, which is not bad. Now, he had some kind of heavy barrel or something in the back of the truck, so when he wrecked, it slammed into the back of the cab, bent the cab a little bit, and also busted the rear window. And then I guess whatever the object was fell over and bent the side of the bed. All of this is fixable, and this is a 2012 with 140,000 miles. It's going to be my work truck. Basically, I'm going to be towing with it and hauling a few things here and there, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but I am going to most likely paint maybe all of it or most of it. The bed or the tailgate doesn't close right now because the handle popped out. It does have a backup cam, which is weird. Where does it show the backup cam since it doesn't have a screen? I'm guessing on the mirror. I'm guessing it shows it on the mirror, which is cool. Yeah, so it's a nice truck. No sunroof, which is nice because it will never leak. And yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So right now the goal is, I've got keys on order. They should deliver today. So as soon as I get a key, I'm going to get it cut, and then I'm going to program it. And the first goal is to make it run, which I don't think it will be an issue. This was an insurance selling it, I believe Progressive, and I have high hopes for it to start up as soon as I program the key. Let's take a look under the hood. So someone also stole the battery and the MAF sensor, or it's possible that the truck had a cold air intake, maybe like a Can-N, and you know, those are $200-300 bucks, and sometimes the owners like to keep the aftermarket parts. So that's possible. Maybe he just took it off, put the original one back on, and then put the sensor in. And this looks funky to me. It looks like the the hose was leaking. So this looks like an AC hose, part of an AC hose, and this was like spliced into. That's kind of interesting, but it looks pretty good under the hood. I haven't checked oil yet. I'm gonna go and pick up a battery after this, and also a MAF sensor, and the coolant looks empty, so it's possible that maybe the radiator's bad. Doesn't look like it took a hit where the radiator is, but you never know. Never know. Surprised the airbags didn't blow. That's the airbag sensor right there. All right, so right now what I want to do is I want to lift up this side of the truck, take the wheel off, and see what it looks like underneath. Was not able to find the locking key, and that kind of sucks. Oh, look at that, the sensor survived. That's always good. So I'm gonna just take a socket and hit it on there with a hammer and try to get them off. I don't have time to go to Discount Tire and get the right socket, so we'll deal with that later. Alright, so just like that, I got all the lug nuts off. I just took a 18mm 12-point socket, hit it on there with the hammer, and takes them right out. And then later I'll get new lug nuts. I just don't see why people put these on in the first place, especially if it's stock wheels, or these wheels are cheap. Because anyone can remove them. This took me like 2 minutes to do. Yes, I ruined the lug nuts, but who cares? If I want the wheels, I can still reuse the socket. There's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes they crack, but this one is a strong one. Looks like the wheel is busted on the inside, so it's stuck. Yes. Discount Tire, you got some competition now. Just removed the tire by myself. Sure, I scratched the rim a little bit, but big deal. So let's take a closer look. So this is where the rim got bent up and busted, and now that's why I can't remove it. Sensor survived. Then we look under here. The steering rack looks to be in one piece, but the bushing came out, if you can see that. So it needs to be pressed back in. And main concern right now is this lower control arm mount right here. That got tore up. Now the main structure up here is okay, so I think I can just take it to a frame shop and have them measure everything and pull this back into place, and I should be good to go. The back one is slightly bent as well. It actually ripped also. I'm actually surprised that this happened, because usually something else gives. Like the ball joint should have ripped out. I feel like this ball joint should have gave instead of all of that, but it's whatever. Everything's fixable, and this is gonna be my daily truck, so it'll be all right. There's a fog light, busted. So the frame itself is in good shape, besides the lower control arm mounts, which that rarely happens this way, the way it happened, but it's all right. So I'm probably gonna cut this rim right here, cut this out so I can remove it, and remove the sensor, and we'll get some parts, I guess. So it looks like I need an axle, knuckle assembly, lower control arm. I think the upper control arm, no, it's bent too. So upper control arm, strut, hub assembly, axle, lower control arm, and a tie rod end looks like is bent also. So that's all I need to make it run, or to make it drive. To make it run, I'm still waiting on the keys, and I'm gonna try to grab a fender, headlight, and a bumper, and this should be a quick fix. I'm just gonna buy one of these wheels for now to make it so I could use the truck, because this tire looks to be okay. I mean, the tread's almost gone, but the tire itself I might be able to use. What the heck is this? It looks like a cut, but I don't think it's all the way through, so I think I can temporarily use this tire. If not, I'll put the spare on here. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here because I already see what I need. There's no reason for me to cut this wheel off, because I'm gonna be replacing the whole knee assembly. Knee assembly is upper control arm, strut, lower control arm, axle. So that's gonna be good. Also, turns out that my steering rack is cracked. I thought the bushing just came out, but it actually broke. So I called the local junkyard, which is J&T in Marion, North Carolina, and they have everything that I need to get this thing on its wheels and moving on its own power. So I'm gonna go pick that up. The whole knee assembly is only 200 bucks, and it comes with everything. The rack is a little bit expensive, I think. Well, I'm sure a new one's probably over 1,000, but they have one for like 200 bucks with the core exchange. If I don't bring the old one back, it's like 200 extra. So I can turn that in later, no problem. So I'm gonna go pick those up, and we'll go from there. But oh, I forgot to ask him about the fender. This fender apparently is pretty rare to find used, and new it's like 450 bucks because it has the flare. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the rear window. They have one of those for 150. So this truck, I bought it off Insurance Auto Auction in Charlotte area, actually Concord, North Carolina. And the way it sits right now is I have 6,800 bucks in it. So my winning bid was 6 grand plus fees, so 6,800 bucks. I picked it up myself, and that's where we're at. So hopefully I can get it to start today or tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Still need to pick up a battery. Let's get going. So the good news is I got the keys cut. The bad news is they don't work. I went to Ace because everything else was closed. It's Thanksgiving week, and Ace was my only option, and they cut them both wrong to where they don't work. So I was trying to make things go quicker, but looks like I gotta do it right and call a locksmith like I always do and get some keys done. So I just took these back to Ace Hardware, and they sort of said they try to recut them and see if that works. And they try to say that because I got them online is because that's why they don't work. And I'm like, I've never had a problem with that before. I'm 33, I've never had that problem before. So obviously they were cut wrong, but let's see what happens. Yeah, nothing. He's like, you know, you have to program these, right? And I'm like, right. And I do program them, but I can't program them if they don't work. So that one doesn't work, and that one doesn't work, and this is the original, obviously. Boom, and it works. So never go to Ace to get your keys cut, because they're gonna waste 3 days of your life. Just don't take any shortcuts. Call your local locksmith and he'll get you on the way, because this sucks. And you know, keys cost me 50 bucks. They charged me $25 a piece to cut them at the Ace hardware store. I'm not gonna say which one. I'm not trying to start any kind of drama. It just sucks because it's been 3 days and I still don't have a key. So I'm gonna go see if I can buy a key from the dealer and just swing it by my locksmith and have him cut the keys right. Man, these wheels are pretty thick, but they break easy. That is crazy what happened to this lower control arm. It took the whole impact, looks like, went into the control arm. There's a bushing. That should not look like that at all. And over here, it's even scarier because, well, to some people it may look scary, but if you look up here on the main frame, it's actually all in place. So just the ears where the holes are, it got pushed back. This one got tore up, but as long as I can put it all in place and then check all the dimensions, and if everything checks out, I should be good, I believe. So I'm gonna see what I can do. I think the sway bar is bent because it got pushed out of place, and I'm pretty sure it bent, but I'll check that out later. My main goal right now is to put this truck on its wheels, so when my locksmith comes out and programs the key, I can just drive it off the trailer, and that way I'm not taking up the trailer, because I need the trailer every day. So guess we'll see what happens.